You have something against ice cubes?
Look at these fishes. They definitely don't mind. And these birds weren't able to take off, but they did surprise the people who found them. We have found for you 15 of the most incredible things frozen in ice. But first, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Fry from Futurama accidentally froze himself and woke up 1,000 years later. And this duck almost did the same thing when it dived under the ice and forgot where the hole was. The bird had already begun to freeze into the ice, but a Norwegian named Lars Jeroen Langoen came to its aid. He jumped into the lake and broke the ice to pull the bird ashore. Then he decided to give the duck mouth-to-mouth and it came back to life.
It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Some boxes are better left unopened, like this old box, which was found beneath the ice in Russia. It had on it an untouched factory seal, and when it was opened, there were 14 Soviet mortar rounds from the 1940s inside. They had been lying under the ice for 80 years, but they were perfectly preserved and there was even a spare detonator in the box. If even one of the munitions had gone off, the shrapnel would have blasted 60 meters around. Imagine if all the rounds had exploded at once. This ship became the vessel most protected from hijacking in the world for a few days. The 200-meter ship was completely frozen in the ice 3 kilometers from the nearest coast, where a local resident accidentally found it with the help of a drone. The entire crew was trapped for several days by Hurricane Jonas as temperatures plummeted to minus 18 degrees Celsius and Lake Michigan completely froze over. Remember how Arnold Schwarzenegger was freezing everybody in that Batman movie? Well, this hare suffered the same fate. The overnight temperature in Kazakhstan dropped to minus 50 degrees Celsius. And the hare had gotten stuck in a fence so he couldn't hide from the frost in its den. It became frozen solid in just a few hours. The freeze even caught some birds by surprise. This bullfinch froze right to a branch, and this icy bird stood motionless on the ground. Neither of them could take off because of the strong wind. This is what happened to some kingfishers who dived under the ice to catch fish in Germany. The water around them froze over before they could find a way out, and a hunter cut them out of the lake in ice cubes. How can this cat get a frozen fish out of the pond? It could try copying these brothers from Indiana, who found a perch protruding from the ice and decided to get it out with a chainsaw. But the perch wasn't alone. There was also a pike with it. It had choked on the perch and both fish were frozen that way into the ice. But that's just 2 fishes. In Norway, millions of herring became frozen at the same time. The fish suffocated in shallow water, floated to the surface, and then froze into the ice, forming a layer of fish corpses. Something similar happened in the USA, which caused a 1.2 meter high wall of fish to form when ice blocks containing the fish were washed ashore. These fish are more fortunate. They're swimming in a place of ice like it's an aquarium. The fisherman was carrying his catch in a bucket and saw that the water had started to freeze. If he hadn't made an air hole in the ice in time, the fish would have suffocated. I hope he doesn't eat them later.